Alright, good evening and welcome to the Broadcasting Lounge. Welcome to Interlagos in Brazil. We've got some MRP HPR action for all you guys tonight, multi-class racing. GTP cars currently on track finishing up their qualifying, GT3 cars having already qualified ahead of tonight's 1 hour and 15 minute enduro race. And I've got Wayne alongside me in the Broadcasting Lounge. How are you, Wayne?
Yeah, I'm good, Shane. Good, Shane. Looking forward to this. Bit of a blast in the lounge. Really cool.
Yeah, looking forward to it. So a bit of a look at what we've got in store for you tonight. So round 4 of the series at Interlagos. It is our second endurance race of the series. And we are, as I said, at Interlagos or Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache in Brazil. Um, yeah, so a 4.22 kilometre track length there. We're on the Grand Prix configuration. And of course, anybody that's a Liam Lawson fan probably watched the young lad going around in his RB F1 car on the weekend. It's the very same track and a very cool track that these guys are going to see if they can replicate that performance tonight, although not quite as wet.
Yeah, true. Good point there. Beautiful, beautiful evening here in Brazil.
Sure is, and we've had a good season actually with randomly generated weather. Rain is possible, but so far it's actually stayed dry for the season, no rain. So not too many challenges for those guys. We had plenty of it last season, so I'm sure they will be relieved to have had a bit more dry running. Stefan McCartan currently leading the way in qualifying. Provisional pole by just under half a second over Nico Cordia, so that's actually a little bit less than some of the margins we've seen him put on the field this season. He might be on a slightly quicker lap here though, looks like he is, so as he comes up to the line, we'll see if he can improve on that and put a slightly more substantial gap on. And he comes across the line and increases it to zero point 0.9 of a second. So still under a second back to Nico Cordia. So Nico can be pretty happy to be that close to a guy that we all know how fast Stefan is, and for Nico to be within a second of that time, that's a pretty good effort as he runs wide there through the last proper corner.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Going to be a long night, big endurance race, and yeah, get comfortable, get seated, glass of
Yeah,
wine, your favorite easy chair, and of course, SuperCars NZ playing on your home.
that's right. Get comfortable, put the stream up on the big screen TV. That's the great thing about modern technology, smart TVs. You can chuck up YouTube, and we hopefully should be streaming in 1080p, so you can go out in full HD quality on your smart TV. Let us know if that's not the case, and we'll look into our settings and get that sorted. Won't be able to get it sorted for tonight, but we'll be able to get it sorted for next week.
Yeah, very cool, Shane. Rocking a new computer, new base. Oh, yeah. Looking forward to seeing some graphic. Everybody loves graphics.
Yeah, absolutely. You might have noticed in somewhat recent times that when I'm streaming, a lot of things are turned down. Some pit buildings missing, some grandstands missing, and stuff like that. New PC means I'm able to have it all turned up again, and it's not affecting my frame rate. I'm able to give Wayne some pictures in Discord at full quality, so that makes everything a lot easier, and still make sure that you guys are getting the best quality product at home. Nico Cordia coming back to pit lane now. So Jack Hunt's only car still out there. There will be time for Stefan and Nico to come back out and start another lap if they want to, but we'll just have to wait and see if that's the case.
Yep, stream's looking good. Shane, 1080, just checked on the other PC, so humming.
Mint. Beautiful.
Ready, ready to rock.
So Jack Ince has just improved his time with a 122.656, gets to within half a second of Nico Cordia. He's going to reset back to the pits now, so That leaves us with no cars on track as we have just ticked under a minute remaining, so they won't be able to get out and start a lap now. So that's going to be it. That's going to be our order for the grid that you see up on screen there. So Stefan McCartan on pole from Nico Cordia and Jack Hintz in the GTP class, and then Daniel Scholes taking the pole in GT3 from Aaron Goodrick, Leith Swinney, and then Blake Greenhall rounding out the second row there. We will of
Yeah,
course,
very cool.
well of
Massive
course,
thanks to MRX and MRP sussing us out this season. It's always nice to have ongoing sponsorship, and yeah, very proud and happy to be swinging their banners in the air.
yeah for sure. MRX weekly sponsor this week. They've got 10% off for the month of November. So if you're after a new rig or anything to add on to your existing MRX rig, hit up Nick, hit up MRX, and see if they will, I believe, give you 10% off all their products. So check them out.
Very
And
cool.
of course, MRP season sponsor for the HPR series, and that's been ongoing for a few seasons now, since it was still the GT3 series. And we have got some great wee little examples that we can show you of some of the things MRP have to offer, and we can show you a quick little example of their motion simulator now. So a good way to look at the MRP motion simulator there, and that would set you back a fair bit, but if you've got the money to invest and you want that sort of setup, hit up MRP and they'll sort you out. But they've got a whole range of stuff as well, from not necessarily entry level, but I guess mid-range stuff right up to that full motion simulator level. So pretty much whatever your budget, if you're interested in getting a sim, get in touch with MRP. And to be honest, I don't recommend the stuff that people look at as entry level anyway. You don't get a great experience from it, and I think 9 out of 10 people end up upgrading probably within 6 months of getting that entry level stuff, don't they, Wayne?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I was super stoked when I sold my G29 and stepped up to a Sim Magic. It's made a world of difference on track. I just didn't remember actually being able to hang on to it and not spinning out. So yeah, made a huge difference.
Yep, I certainly echo that, going from the Thrustmaster TMX to some Magic M10.
Yeah. No problem.
So cars is
Yeah, man.
coming out on track for their 5 minute warm up now.
So have MRP got that motion sim set up in their display today? Can you go and have a blast?
I'm not 100% sure on that. Um, they certainly offer all the gear to be able to set it up. I have had a go on, not an MRP motion simulator, but I have had a go on a motion simulator um, at the Taupo V8s this year. So there's certainly motion simulators out there that you can try, and I'm sure if you talk to Barry, he'll be able to point you in the right direction to, if he doesn't have something set up in his shop for you to come and try out, he'll be able to make sure you can try out something pretty similar to what he can provide you.
I would imagine, definitely. Very cool. Yeah, so Christmas coming up, Shano. Bloody trees are going up already. Country's gone mad.
Yep, it's only November and trees are going up already. Supermarkets are already playing Christmas carols. That's controversial.
That's a bit nuts. SuperCars NZ rocks right on through, so even if our main event ends up on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, we're still running, so keep that in mind. We don't stop racing just for
Yeah.
the big guy in the red suit.
That's right. I think Christmas Day on a Wednesday this year, I
Oh,
believe.
okay.
So not one of our main event nights, but we will still have a GT3 or HPR practice race up. And of course, Christmas Eve, Tuesday night, normal V8 night, we'll still be racing. Up to you if you want to show up. Even if you're a little bit inebriated, that's okay. You're allowed to drink and drive on the sim, you're not going to hurt anyway.
Yeah, it's the one.
If you couldn't drink and drive in the sim, I think that would rule a lot of our drivers out.
Yeah, it's good
especially
fun.
especially the one and only Sean McNamara.
Yep. Couple of PC issues tonight, so just figuring them out. So hopefully he'll be back soon.
Yeah, and he's just upgraded his GPU, so hopefully nothing too serious going on for him. Hopefully we can
Normally
get that
what
sorted
happens,
within here.
yeah, upgrade something and then something else can't keep up, and
Yeah, that's right.
I love technology. So out there with Jack Hintz, Passion Sim Racing, playing around in the warm-up. Who else is out there, Shane?
So we've got Darren Lobb out there doing some laps. He's done a 133.3 in the warm-up. Didn't set a qualifying time, so he's going to come off the back in that red and blue McLaren. Or red, yellow and blue McLaren, actually.
Yeah, bit of fun. Love watching Darren weave his way through the traffic up to first spot. Especially a big long race like this, so they have plenty of time to pick his battles and move and get used to the track.
Bit of strategy to come into it as well. No compulsory pit stops, but the fuel tank won't last an hour and 15 minutes. So at some point they're going to have to come in and add some fuel, and then it'll be up to them whether they want to change their tyres in that time as well. Potentially these tyres will do an hour and 15 minutes on one set, but there will be a little bit of a performance loss towards the end if you try and stretch them out that far, so there could be potentially some gains to be had by changing tyres, but just depends on how many tyres are going to be covered by fuel. I'd say in the GT3s they're not going to have to add a huge amount, so they might be able to just cover a couple of tyres. GTPs will probably be able to cover all four, they're just about going to have to add a whole tank to get through the race, I think.
Got big fuel burn, eh? Super fast machines.
Yeah, absolutely. Despite being hybrid, they still burn a lot of fuel when they're running at peak speed. So that wraps up the warm-up, and we're just getting into the gridding period now, so we can have a look at the grid lineup. So the GTP grid there at the front, Stefan McCartan on pole from Nico Cordia, back to Jack Hintz in third, and then GT3 pole goes to Daniel Scholes. Aaron Goodrick alongside him on the front row, and then Leith Swinney and Blake Greenhall line up behind them.
Very cool. Ready to rock here at Interlagos.
Yeah, Jack McIntyre, Kristen Jenkins on the third row there, Andy Uden, Tom McCall behind them, back to Wayne Hartnell and Chris Zalewski to round out the top 10, and then Darren Lobb and Peter Vanderberg going off the back, and that's going to round out the grid tonight.
Very cool, very cool.
So lining up behind the pace truck rather, that
Ooh,
should head off very shortly. Oh, someone getting a bit impatient. That was Jack McIntyre just pulling out a line on the GT3. He wants to get going. He's like, what are we doing? Are we moving? Are we not?
I'm ready to rock.
Oh, Stephen McCartan aggressively getting some heat into those tyres. I may just quickly need to update my trading paints because I know Stefan normally runs a proper livery, a team livery, and I don't think his team will be very happy to, or his team sponsors won't be very happy to not see that showing on the stream tonight. So we're going to run that updater. Bear with us if the cars momentarily change to white. They should pop back up with their correct liveries as that runs through.
Here's that information, Shane.
No worries. So just coming into the last part of the lap now. Oh, don't want to see all that stuff up on screen. So we're seeing Daniel Scholes leave a nice gap to the GTP cars. iRacing doesn't require them to do that, but it's generally standard practice for the slower class to leave a good gap to the faster class, just to allow for those faster class guys having any dramas and recover from that before the next class gets up on them. So the pace car is about to pull into the pits as Stefan McCartan leads them down towards the line, and they get the green flag and they are away heading down towards turn 1, and you can see the GT3 is already panning out in behind as well. It's going to be Stefan leading the way into turn 1 for GTP. Aaron Goodrick leading the way into turn 1 for the GT3 classes. He's managed to get the jump on Daniel Scholes as they come down through the Senna S now.
Yeah, very, very tidy start for both classes.
Absolutely.
Winding some pressure on there.
Yeah, Jackins getting ahead of Nico Cordia down at turn 4 as the GT3 field bring their way through there now.
Cars updated nicely, Shane. Looking good out there, man.
Yeah, we're seeing Stefan's blackout OPR livery there now. Jackins still ahead of Nico Cordia at the moment as Aaron Goodrick continues to lead the way in the GT3, but Daniel Scholes able to get down the inside and gets the spot. And he's been able to make that one stick as well, so good job there. Snaking their way through the infield section now. Blake Greenhill doing a good job to sit there in 4th as they all wind their way through. Looking pretty clean for the opening lap so far.
Most definitely.
But Stefan McCartan absolutely in control. 1 lap in, already 3 seconds in the lead over Jack Hintz. So a very solid start for Stefan McCartan. Daniel Scholes is going to close out lap 1 in the lead of GT3. So didn't get the best of starts, but was able to make his way back around on lap 1 and resumes the lead, and looking like this could be a good battle as the race goes on, with Aaron Goodrick sitting just in behind. Battle for second in GTP looking promising in the early stages as well. We saw Jack Hintz make that move on lap 1, but Nico Cordia hasn't let him get away, still sitting within half a second.
Yeah, very cool.
As we can bring
cool
up
looking cars.
Yeah, very cool looking cars. Love the work Jack's done with that PSR livery.
A lot going on there.
Yeah, it's a very busy paint job, but I feel everything's well placed and works well with each other. And Jack always does a great job of his liveries, and yeah, no different with this one.
Yeah. Nico not letting him get away though, like you said. Wow. Long race though.
So Darren Lowe, we're talking about Darren coming off the back. He's in the McLaren West livery, and he is right up behind a Team West car. Tom McCall just in front of him at the moment, and Darren is piling the pressure on. We'll see if he can get the job done at turn 1 this time around. Pokes the nose out.
Back to the bull. Darren Lowe. Taking the inside line there. Thomas McCall certainly no slouch though, so it'll be interesting to see if he can put a bit of pressure back on him.
Yeah, for sure, and a couple of Tom's teammates just in behind having a good wee battle between each other as well. Kristen Jenkins just in behind Wayne Hartnell.
Yeah,
Oh, and Blake
track.
Greenhall going slowly. He's had a crash. And we've got data on Nico Cordia as well. Nico Cordia just recovering now by the look of it. He's dropped to 6 seconds back on Jack Hintz. So, a couple of guys that were in some tight battles having issues, and Blake was looking very strong in the GT3 class, running inside the top 5. We can have a look what happened to him. So, coming down the back straight here, he was in behind Jack McIntyre and just losing the rear under brakes.
Yeah, I'd say he was almost going to hit him and then gave it a bit too much and run out, eh?
Yeah, for sure. Very easy to lock rears if you try and overdo the trail braking on these cars, and looks like, yeah, as you say, just grabbing a little bit more brake as he's turned it in and doing just that, locking rears and going around. Nico Cordia, meanwhile, he was continuing that battle with Jack Hintz through the infield section and just losing the rear. Well, these high downforce cars, they're very gripped up until the moment that you overstep that mark, and then as soon as you do, they tend to let go very quickly, and it looks like Nico just being caught out there with that one. Potentially just losing a bit of downforce in the dirty air as well behind Jack there.
Yep, lucky they're not at a street circuit, so a bit of room there to spin out on the grass. But yeah.
Yeah, that's right. A little bit more runoff area here compared to some street circuits. Not massive runoff areas in some places though. The barriers aren't too far away. It is a reasonably old school circuit. Actually originally had a much longer layout that wound back and forward within itself, and I think on that original layout the barriers were very, very close, and it almost was like a street circuit, but you can see there the tyre barrier as they come into that corner quite close. So certainly danger there, and we did see that spin that Blake had. He wasn't too far away from the barriers, but he did manage to keep it off there. And yeah, like you say, at a street circuit, I think probably both of those guys would have been taking a trip to the pits very early in the race at this point.
Not overly happy. Wow, they're sounding good. Listen to these beasts. Absolutely flying.
Yeah, they do sound nice. And speaking of taking an early trip to the pits, Jack McIntyre, who Blake was fighting before he had his moment, Jack's had his own moment. Oh,
Ooh.
and Wayne Hartnell's just had a moment there. Recovering from that, I'm not sure whether he made it into the tyre barrier or not. It's coming up as crashed. So that's allowed Kristen Jenkins to get a free spot there. We can see what happened to Wayne. So down into turn 1.
Oh, just losing rears and yep.
Yeah, probably just got trapped on the traction control there as well, and just couldn't get it to turn back to the right when he wanted to, and it just went straight ahead into the wall. And as that happened, I was talking about Jack McIntyre's moment. He's towed to the pits. This is what happened to him. And all up on the curbs there. Oh, and he's just...
Yeah, that was the same. So there was up on the traction control, and it just carried on and locked up, and yeah, kept on the same line.
Yeah, that almost looked like he just turned right though. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he's had enough, he's out for the night. Maybe he hasn't done all his chores, I don't know, strange one.
Well, you could just see it losing it like a corner earlier, and I don't think it recovered. It might be a poor shut thing.
Yeah, it could be. They do have quite a severe pendulum effect with the engine over the rear axle on the Porsches. Andy Uden in a Porsche. Very shiny looking livery he's got going on there with his name on the windscreen banner as well, so... Stanwell Road Auto Parts down in
Yep.
Christchurch.
Stanwell Road, apparently.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's enough of that, Wayne. Settle it down. Settle it down. Back off.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of sarcasm. So Andy's
Cool.
got Tom McCall not too far behind him at the moment. Things starting to look a little bit spread out. This is one of the closer gaps we've got, although Darren Lobb starting to close it on Leith Swinney now he's already up to third. And he's about to be challenging Aaron for, oh no, sorry, he's just got past Leith. I was reading the gaps the wrong way on my lifetime, so he's just made the move on Leith and he's up to third and setting his sights on Aaron, but Aaron's about 3 seconds up the road at the moment.
Yeah, it would have surprised me if he passed one of the hypercars.
Yeah. So Peter Vanderberg just sitting at half a second behind Christian Jenkins at the moment, and Christian's got Blake Greenhill within a second up the road at the moment. See Jack Hintz in the background coming fast in that GTP, so those GTP guys already lapping the GT3 field.
Yeah, well.
Last week Corey and I talked about lap time difference between the classes. We were looking at 15 seconds at... I should know where we were last week. I cannot for the life of me remember where we were last week, but anyway it was 15... Oh, Road Atlanta, that's where we were. We had a 15-second difference in lap times there. Actually looking a fair bit closer here, just over 10 seconds from from Daniel Scholes, who was the GT3 leader. His last lap time was a 1:34. Stephen McCartan's last lap time was a 1:23. So just over 10 seconds a lap between them.
Flashing lights, hit the grass, but I suppose you're only on the grass for a split second in one of those cars, so grass ain't going to mess with you too much unless you get right out there.
Yeah, when you're running at full speed up the straight, with the downforce pushing you into the track, you actually don't tend to lose too much grip when you do drop it in the grass anyway. Of course, if you then try and load up an axle while it is in the grass, or get on the brakes while you're in the grass, you are going to have some problems there. But you can get away with it when you're running down the straight.
Yeah, very cool. Peter Vandenberg, Misfits race team entry. How they're doing it, sitting on 9th.
So Jack Hintz must have just had an issue somewhere, because Nico Cordia's closed right up on the back of him again. We saw last week Jack getting the bad end of the stick with some of the lap traffic, and I wonder if he's just been held up quite a bit coming through that traffic again, and that's just allowed Nico to get onto the back of him. Although Nico getting caught out a bit more on that occasion, that gap's just opened up again out to about a second. But hey, whatever's happened, it's given us a recognition of this battle, so that's cool to see.
Yep, giving us a race. Very cool. Yeah, that's a bit of nerves around those other drivers, because they are real people sitting in their sims at home. They're not a bunch of AIs in a fantasy land. These are all, racers out there doing it, and don't want to upset their night by doing something silly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. If you're used to playing F1 24, you might be used to jamming that on your controller, or you might even have a decent wheel and pedal setup, direct drive maybe even, but if you're racing against AI and that, you might be used to being able to just throw it up the inside, push your way through, and it can be easy to jump into this sort of thing and forget that you are racing real people now, and you do need to show them a little bit more respect than you would an AI driver. So good to see these guys showing those GT3 drivers plenty of respect and taking their time to get past them.
Yeah, 100%. Down lob past Aaron Goodrick for P5.
Oh, he has too, so he's just got that move done. We'll stick with the live pictures just to see if Aaron can take advantage of the draft up the hill here and maybe make a move back into turn one.
Yeah, Aaron's certainly a seasoned racer here as well, so, and he won't be one to let Darren get away with it. So we'll see how this pans out. Rosetown Motor Group, Aaron Goodrick, Darren Lobb, MRP driver.
And it's McLaren versus McLaren as well, so good to see the new car with a Kiwi connection racing strongly in this field. But it looks like Darren has got that one covered off now, so we can go back and have a look at how he found his way around Aaron. And it's in the infield section here. Aaron actually just making a little bit of a mistake running wide. That's given Darren the run, and he's just sent it up the inside, and nice, clean, authoritative move.
Yeah, Aaron's like, there you go for it.
Yeah, sometimes you've got to recognise that the guy behind you is quite a bit faster than you and just think it's not worth losing time in my own race to fight this guy. I'm just going to let him go and see if he goes on and makes his own mistake later, then I might be able to get that place back.
So we're looking Daniel Scholes. Darren Lobb now. 4.6 second gap. Last lap time is very similar, Dano. 133.84 for Darren and 133.7 for Daniel Scholes. I'll throw that to bit, but yeah, very close lap time. So.
Yeah, very close. So they could be quite evenly matched. Obviously, Darren, having come through the field to be only 4.5 seconds back, shows he's done a very good job to make his way through. But it will be interesting to see what Daniel can do with that gap, if he can just manage that, look after his tyres a little bit. Yeah, and the Barbie Porsche, hot pink might be able to get him the edge there, maybe. Who knows?
Power through the wind a bit easier. Yeah.
This battle has really tightened up. Three-way battle for P7. Blake Greenhall sitting in 7th from Kristen Jenkins, and then Peter Vanderberg just in behind Kristen at the moment.
Good stuff. How's your hood cam?
Oh, I've only actually got the bumper cam set up, but we can go to the bumper cam. How's my driving?
Close. So close to the day. It's cool. Good racing here at SuperCars NZ.
So Kristen's got the how's my driving on the rear wing, but he hasn't got a number to ring to actually provide that information.
Some good pressure on Blake too in the front end.
Yeah, and Peter Vanderberg with the best seat in the house for this one, so we'll stick on his bumper cam and watch that pan out. He's going to pull out of the draft, think about the move down into turn one. He's down the inside and he's got that one done. Does he go too deep under brakes? Looks like he's been able to make it stick for the minute, but Blake is able to get the better run, and he's just had to check up, and that's allowed Peter to get right under his rear wing. They're all going to be drafting each other down the straight. Peter thinks about pulling out, gets on the brakes, almost gets into the back of the BMW.
Nice respectful racing there, Peter. So close.
That was very cool.
Power Beamer, Property Edge,
nice.
.co.nz. So commercial building leases. You need to negotiate. You need a specialist. You need somebody that can hook you up and talk the talk and get you the good deals. You Give Blake a call. That'll be $50 for that plug, Blake. I love it. Property Edge. Very cool looking Beamer. On board here.
Yeah, unfortunately the roll bar cam, not showing us his driver input, so Stephen McCartan makes his way past the GT3 cars for a second time.
Well, it's the story of his life, isn't it?
Absolutely. Helmet cam from Blake, that'll show us his driver inputs. The BMW always seems quite sedate when you're on board, doesn't it? I can tell you he's absolutely pushing though, as much as it doesn't necessarily look like it from this view. Oh, Peter getting very close to that rear bumper of the property edge Beamer again.
Yeah, I was thinking about bringing Blake up, but maybe not. Peter's getting a bit crazy in the background there, so he didn't want to.
Oh no, Blake's just disappeared from our screens. I hope he comes back. I really hope he comes back, but he's been gone for a good 10-15 seconds already. Unfortunately, I think Blake's had packet loss.
Oh, there you go. Joys of racing, eh?
Yeah.
Interesting to see what the go was there.
So Aaron Goodrick's got Leith Swinney just in behind him at the moment. Aaron, of course, an MRX driver. He's got MRX on the rear wing there. His livery is predominantly Rosetown Motor Group, but certainly very much part of the MRX team. And MRX, of course, our Raceweek sponsor this week, so check them out. As we mentioned earlier, 10% off all their sim racing products, so get in touch with Nick at MRX and yeah, he will hook you up with a good deal on some sim racing gear.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, do we want to see what happened to Balaki? Should we bring him up?
Yeah, let's do it. I think we need to get the scoop on that.
Blake, how's it?
So
Tell us the sad
I just realised what happened is now I've got a rinky-dink setup, and my I don't know the thing where you plug the Ethernet cable into for the internet.
Oh yes.
Fell off the computer and yanked the Ethernet cable out.
No.
And I was pretty confident I was on track to not need to stop.
Oh wow.
Really?
So that was a real
bugger. Man, you were in an epic battle at that time as well with who were you battling with? Kristen Jenkins and
Rhinoff and
yeah, Peter Vanderberg.
Peter Vanderberg. Yeah, no, that was good.
We were with you, and we were actually riding on board with you, and then you just disappeared. So
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to come back, and you didn't. So I figured something more substantial had happened.
Yeah, it was a real shame because that was setting up to be a good finish that, but it is what it is.
Joys of it, eh? Gotta love it.
Mechanical issues, just like the real life, the realism, we're all about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's right.
Stuff.
Although I don't think I've heard of anyone retiring because they didn't strap their ECU securely into the car.
Yeah, it's a lesson for the young ones, always strap your cables down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Make sure all your important stuff's in a secure place. It's not going to fall off and come unplugged.
That's right. Oh dear. Yeah, that'll teach me.
Yeah, like real racing, like you say, that main power to the computer
Yep.
in the car just falls off. Yeah, cuts down. So right off Jenkins and Nico Cordia there, you got to see that bit of data there showing.
Yeah, I did see that. So right off here in the Lamborghini and just losing the rear on the switchback there. Similar thing to what we've seen happen to a couple of people.
Yeah, what is up with that, Blake? We saw you did that as well.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. So who that yeah, that guy that was in front, I think he's fairly new to the league. He
Daniel
yeah.
Scott.
Oh,
No, it was one of the other guys. Can't remember his name. Is it Jamie?
Jack McIntyre?
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, he was just went nowhere into the corner and was just way off the gas, and I just drove straight into the back of him. And then a little later on, he lost his packets and had a disconnect as well. So I don't know what was going on there.
Well, there we go. But who we got here? We got Aaron Goodrick, Skinny.
Yeah, so this is a battle for the final podium spot in GT3 and a pretty intense battle at the moment. Aaron sliding down the inside, Leith sliding down the inside and getting that spot, but I'm sure Aaron's not going to let him go. He's going to stick with him. They've got Nico Cordia coming up on them at the moment to make his way past, and he's managed to time that well and gets the job done on the straight. We saw that issue for Nico Cordia, but he's actually still running ahead of Jack Hintz. So Jack's obviously had a drama somewhere as well. Hasn't been to the pits. Not seeing
Wasn't
any
planning on going.
Good stuff. Oh, you get to hang out in the lounge if you like, Blake.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys should bring Leith up too, because he was sitting down there with me in the Discord. I don't know if he's still there or not.
He's there, but he's got his mic muted, so...
Okay.
Yeah, we won't pester him.
Yeah.
Good, all good. Yeah, tell us about the property edge.
Thanks, Pete. Yeah, commercial real estate consultancy. So we do work for both tenant and landlord side, or owner-occupier, lease negotiations, premises search and procurement, acquisition of sites, disposal of sites, lease surrender, project management, all that kind of stuff that people think that you need to pay a lawyer the big bucks for, but we can certainly look in the right direction. And yeah, if there's any pearly bits and pieces, we'll always get a lawyer involved, but we aim to minimise property costs for our clients.
Very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so good stuff.
How's Stefan McCartan? What have we got? He's got a 46-second lead on Jack Hint.
Take them out.
plug your cable in, mate. Oh, he's back on.
It's gone.
Oh, you are back on track. Good to see you.
He is back on track.
Yeah. Hook back up again. So.
Yeah.
Very cool. Could throw a yellow.
That would help a lot.
Yellow in a wave round.
Oh, Nico Cordia's had another drama out there.
I don't know if you've seen if any of the other guys are fuel saving. It was quite a big ask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I think you're probably the only one that would be crazy enough to try that, Blake.
There's always got to be one, doesn't there?
Especially when Blake Greenhall's out there.
I'd just hop in car with Daniel Scholes maybe and just see what his driving style's like.
Certainly still revving it out.
Yeah, the revs are right up there, definitely. Yeah.
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 Yeah, no lift and coast there.
So I was having to lift and save pretty heavily to bring that number down.
Yeah, I don't think Lob would be able to do that starting at the back. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what his fuel consumption is usually quite high, isn't it?
Darren Lob, let's have a look what's happening in there. Shano.
Actually, he's closed right in on Daniel Scholes as well, and yeah, Darren certainly
On the
revving it
limit,
out. Yeah, no lift and
yeah.
coast there.
Good hard battle.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how you would have panned out. Like,
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Oh, Daniel having a little bit of a blink there, so his internet not perfect at the moment either. That could end up being a factor.
yeah, Darren won't be lifting at all.
No.
Clearing some junk off the windscreen with the window wiper there.
Yeah.
Making sure he can see that Barbie Porsche nice and clearly.
He's probably wiping his screen to, just to double check that he's seeing what he's actually seeing. Oh yeah, no, it is actually a Barbie Porsche.
Yeah, it stands out that one, that's for sure.
It sure does. Oh, and he's getting nice and close here. Does he think about a move? He's taken a wider line in. That could give him the momentum into the next corner, but just a little bit too far back to outbrake him.
Yeah, the nerves will be up on Daniel as well.
They sure will.
Surprising, the turnout tonight.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see lower numbers as well, although we ended up with about 18 total, so not too bad. Could have been better. Sorry, no, 15 total. Yeah, could be better, not too bad. I was sort of thinking that with this track being an F1 on the weekend, and obviously quite a large following in F1 at the moment with for New Zealanders, with Liam Lawson being there. Yeah, thought that might have a few people more keen to have a blast around here, but obviously not. But Darren getting very close now, and he's got the run. He gets a little bit of a draft. He's going to go to the outside, and they're going to go side by side down into turn 4. Can he go around the outside? Daniel gives him some space. He does manage to hold on the outside, and that's going to give him the inside for this next corner. And able to get the job done. Daniel thinks about a dive back down the inside into the next one, but thought better of it in the end.
Yeah, nicely done by Darren to run that car a little bit over in front of there as well, just to secure the spot. Here we go, pedal down, look out Stefan McCartan, here comes Darren Lobb.
Absolutely. Of course, Darren Lobb, MRP driver, not running an MRP livery on that McLaren tonight, but he is an MRP driver, and MRP, our very generous series sponsor for the HPR series, so thanks to MRP for making all this possible.
Yeah, 100%, definitely.
Thank you, MRP.
Barry rocks 4AGEs as well, those awesome little Toyota motors. So if you need any hot bits, those motors, 4AGEs, pretty mean, high revving little 4-cylinder beast. Yeah, talk to Barry. Mate had one in an Escort van. God, it was so much fun.
Yep, Barry can certainly help you out there, and you never know, Blake. He might even have a solution to secure your router properly.
Yeah, I'll give him a ring now.
Yeah. Custom MRP cable ties or something like that.
Yeah.
So little MRP logo on there. $10 each.
Yeah.
Actually, what he does do is a very cool little aftermarket quick release for some Magic bases, and they allow you to put practically any wheel onto a Sim Magic base. So if you're into a bit of real racing, you can grab the wheel out of your real race car and chuck that quick release on there and chuck that into your sim.
It's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
For those lucky enough to have a real race car.
That's right.
Yeah, very cool to see one of those sim wheels in a car. Good fun.
Yeah, well, you very much can go that way around as well, because those quick releases are actually compatible with, well, you can use those quick releases in a real car as well. They're quite a common real world quick release that Sim Magic have adapted to their sim racing ecosystem. So
Very cool.
yeah.
I do remember one of MRX race cars he was building. He put a sim wheel in there for the buttons and like pretty mean. That was a little while ago. Followed MRX for a while. They built some pretty cool race cars too. As
Yeah,
well
they
as
do.
selling sim gear. So if you want a custom built race car, well, you can go there.
And I
That's some
think,
pretty mean fabrication.
yeah, I think MRX gearing up to run a season with young Taylor in, is it the BMW Cup?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one. Yep.
So keep an eye out for young Taylor at your local racetrack this season.
Yep. Needs to get in here and have some more practice.
He does.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
In a few years' time, we might be able to go and cheer him on at the new Stratford circuit, Wayne.
Yeah, that's I think they've put it on a fast track, so I'm hoping that's gonna amp up. I probably should put my hand up and go and jump on the board and get my shit together there.
Yeah, get some signage up, mate, for good exposure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I know they've got some concrete walls sitting there from Pukekohe, so you could just go and spray paint the DSLA logo on some of those.
Bit of a midnight few beers. Run, you reckon, Shane? Get a stencil made up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, put my phone number on it.
So all a bit spread out at the moment now.
Yeah, looks like Aaron has just come out from his pit stop.
He has too, so he is the first of the GT3 runners that has pitted.
I do think there'd be nothing wrong with the yellow. Shana.
Nothing wrong with the yellow. Oh, with a yellow.
With the yellow.
Well, I can't throw it because I'd have to bring my my UI up on screen to do that. So
that'd be my fault.
exactly.
Yellow flag is out.
Oh, here we go. He's done it.
Here we go.
Because why not, eh?
Absolutely.
I'm certainly not complaining, so thank you, fellas.
Oh, like,
So I would say that's going to greatly benefit Aaron Goodrick, as well as Chris Zalewski and Kristen Jenkins. in the GT3 field and Jack Hint's in the GTP field. Those guys have taken a pit stop. They won't necessarily need to come in under yellow, and of course,
Oh,
those that do come in under yellow will have to cycle to the back.
because Wayne didn't think about that, but that's alright.
That's alright. It's only a few people, and the fast guys are going to be close enough to the front that they can still get back to the front, so it's all good.
Yeah.
So Stefan McCartan just coming up behind the pace truck now.
So that's what you call a full random yellow.
Absolutely.
Again, realism.
Bunch
Ironically,
up the cars, have a race home.
ironically, that would have helped the fuel saving cause as well.
Yeah, this is true. Actually, Jack Hint won't be able to cycle to the front because unfortunately he's a lap down on Stefan McCartan, but it should allow him to get his lap back when Stefan comes to the pits.
So am I doing any wave rounds? Go there, Dano?
I don't think we'll need to. I think it should all cleanse itself when people pit and others stay out.
It's hard to tell, isn't it? Because those GT3 cars are Blake's 5 laps down. But that's behind
Yeah.
Stefan obviously, so. Well, let us know, Blake.
So we're still going around at the minute.
So the pace car is just coming up towards the pit entrance now, and I believe pits should be open this lap.
Yep, it's just come open.
Yep, so we'll see who's going to take that option now. Stefan's certainly coming in. Jack looks like he's going to stay out and get that lap back. Sure is. Darren Lobb's staying out.
That's interesting.
So does he think
Yeah,
this is going to be
he's
enough to
thinking,
switch the
yeah.
strategy? Save the fuel.
Yeah, funny.
Lights out on the pace car, so it's going to go green next time around.
Was Daniel asking for blacks clear, passing under yellow?
I didn't hear that, and well, I wouldn't have heard that because I've got my chat off, but
What did Darren Love say?
Something about wondering where he'd come from, something like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you got a black for passing under yellow, maybe you shouldn't have passed under yellow.
But sorry, we don't clear flags.
Now, what I don't think this is going to do either is separate the classes again. So we've got Nico Cordia coming out of the pits just behind Leith Swinney. I saw Jack Hint at the front. Stefan McCartan rejoined behind Blake, although now that's strange. The lights are out on the pace car. I would have thought it should have waved everybody that's in front of Stefan on track now around the safety car to pick up the leader, but it hasn't done that.
Maybe it doesn't. There's only one to go. One to green.
It should do it at 1 to green, but it hasn't, so that's interesting. Anyway.
I can give you a wave round, Blake.
It's a bit late now, isn't it, mate?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it probably is.
Gonna have to fight for it.
so Darren Lobb and Peter Vanderberg are both still out there, not having pitted. They've obviously had this opportunity under yellow to save a fair bit of fuel. They've still got half an hour remaining, and from what we saw from Darren at least, he didn't appear to be saving, and yeah, normally only get an hour out of the tank in these GT3s, so 15 minutes short, so I would imagine if they're planning on not stopping, there's still going to be a fair bit more saving for them to do.
Yeah. Interesting.
Green, 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 green.
But Jack Hintz is going to have control of the restart, but it's Stefan McCartan that's actually the leader, and they all fan out as the GTP cars make their way through the GT3 traffic. This is heavy congestion for them. Normally by the time they get up to the GT3s, it's all a bit more spread out. Stefan doing a great job to cut his way through that traffic though.
Wow, definitely, yeah.
Nico with the lights flashing.
Bit dramatic.
Mr. Greenhall letting the field go through. Daniel Scholes sitting in fourth now after taking his pit stop. Aaron Goodrick has moved up to P2 having pitted.
Yeah, fresh tyres, bit of gas. Not enough to get home, it's always handy.
Yeah, he's not worried about fuel saving, so I think well we can jump on board with Nico Cordia, and I imagine we're going to see. Well, there's editor rev out there.
Might be the old is what it is.
Might be. Maybe he thought he was going to lose too much track position if he pitted, but I mean the majority of the field still had to pit when that yellow came out, so
It's a willing battle at the rear field here, fellas. It'll get a bit spicy in a minute.
Definitely.
yes, Tom McCall all over the back of Leith Swinney. Kristen Jenkins just behind as well.
Christian Zalski in the mix.
Actually, Kristen Jenkins is nearly a lap behind these guys, unfortunately, so he hasn't had the best run. That safety car getting caught up behind the safety car as the leaders pitted might have just hurt Kristen a little bit there.
Looks like a good lead as well, because I think he was running quite well for the safety car now.
Yeah, I think he was up the order a bit, wasn't he? And he's sitting down in P6 now in class. Andy Uden just in front of Leith as well at the moment. Oh, was that, who was that? That was Chris Zaluski having a big moment in the racecraft's McLaren there.
Yeah, it's no good.
Oh, Leith pulling out of the draft, going down the inside on Andy Uden.
Getting it
Gets down
done
there,
reasonably
goes
easy, yeah.
Yeah, went a little bit deep though. That's going to give Andy the run as someone's just pulled off there.
Right off, pulled off to the side and towed.
He has too.
Wonder what's going on there.
Looks like Leith has been able to make that one stick. Didn't compromise his line too much through the centre S's, and Andy got a little bit of a run, but not enough to be able to fly back down the inside.
Yeah, Leith's been pretty fast all night. I'd say he will start to put away the big boys and make a bit more ground back through the pack.
Yeah, right off, looks like he's given up tonight, written it off.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Andrew Uden, Passions of Racing, Stanmore Road. On the Porsche.
So Aaron Goodrick and Daniel Scholes pretty close together on track at the moment.
Write-off's just message saying that it's a big yellow before leaving the server, so clearly it didn't work out for him, unfortunately.
Oh well.
Win some, you lose some.
Yep, so Daniel down the inside on Aaron Goodrick. Oh, bit of hip and shoulder there.
My bad. My bad, right off.
Aaron able to hold on at the moment, but Daniel searching for a way past. Oh, Aaron's just gone a bit deep there, but it's going to be on the inside here.
Not letting it go.
He's not, is he? But Daniel finally gets ahead. Has he done enough to make it stick? Getting pretty close
So
there.
close. Definitely.
If
15
Aaron,
minutes in.
yeah, if Aaron can get a good run off the final corner, he'll be able to get a good draft up the front straight. Nico, Daniel, absolutely exploiting the track limits there, and looks like that's been able to just give him enough momentum to mitigate that draft a little bit.
Be interesting to see how the incident points are going as well, because it's quite easy to pick them up here.
Oh yeah, I'll have a quick look at that.
Meanwhile, Leith Swinney's been able to get around Peter Vanderberg, so Leith continuing his charge back towards the podium positions, and he's not too far away from being able to resume this battle with Aaron Goodrick for that last podium position. He sure has done a very good job.
Blake Greenhill, 17 incident. he's the highest.
17 to drive through, isn't it?
Yeah, I just served that.
Ah, right.
So Nico Cordy on 16.
Ooh, he's close.
Bit of data there.
It's going to take some clean driving with a fair chunk of the race to go.
Next one down the order is Peter Vandenberg with 11. Aaron Goodrick sitting on 10.
Now this is interesting as well. So I've just put their pit stop times up on the screen there. I was looking at trying to work out why Leith had dropped back so much, and we're seeing some 12s, some 9s, a 6 from Blake Greenhill, but a 23 for Leith Swinney. A couple of 22s further back as well. I would suggest that's probably telling us that Leith has taken 4 brand new tyres in that pit stop, so that's why he lost out a little bit. But you can see he's putting them to good use, and he's fought his way back through the field, and he's already closing up on Aaron again to resume that battle for the final podium spot.
There you go, fresh tyres, strategy, fuel.
There was just a little bit of chat between Darren and Daniel, I think it was, about possibly a redress or letting something go. I don't know if you guys caught that.
So we don't.
No.
I probably could do.
Not seeing any data that would suggest anything going on between Daniel and Darren either. So here we go, Leith looking very rapid at the moment. His last lap time was a 1:33.79. That was his best lap of the race.
Oh.
Aaron Goodrick's last lap 1:34.4, and actually even Daniel Scholl's last lap 1:34.1. So Leith Swinney could even be on to chase down Daniel Scholes late in the race for P2. Daniel's not that far away at the moment once Leith gets around to Aaron. That could have been an absolute master call by Leith to change 4 tyres under safety car, drop a few more positions, but given him that speed that he needs to absolutely charge on and make them back, and might even be able to finish a spot higher than where he was running before.
Watch it play out, eh? Not too long to go now, 20 minutes.
Yep, coming up to 55 minutes into a 1 hour 15 minute race, so starting to get into the business end now.
Something like that, anyway.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Yeah, good to watch, keep a clean leaf. See how you climb on Mr. Goodrick and Daniel.
So that last lap around his pace was just a little bit down on the previous one, about 4/10 of a second down, and it was actually a tenth slower than Daniel that time around, so I do wonder if maybe he just pushed it a little bit hard early on those tyres, and if he's just lost a little bit of that life, but he's certainly still looking like he's got the pace to take the fight to Aaron. And actually Daniel's just dropped back a little bit, potentially losing out as the GTP traffic made their way through, and might have brought them back into the battle as well.
Yeah, cool. Darren Live 8 seconds on Daniel Scholes, so.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane, and hasn't pitted. Still revving it out, still no signs of any lift and coast there. This is the section you would be lifting and coasting if you were trying to save some fuel as well. Although keeping it in second through the infield where some guys are going back to first, but that can be car dependent as well. The blackout OPR hypercar filling the rear view camera there, and Stefan going to the outside and making his way around. That was cool. Oh yeah, certainly no signs of fuel saving from Darren at the moment, so did that safety car give him enough, or is he just pushing on to try and make a gap that will cover him when he does come into the pits?
It's going to be very interesting. Daniel Scholes had his pit. Aaron Goodrick leaves Swinney.
It's been Darren's strategy lately, hasn't it, to pit late?
It absolutely has, and he won't be too far away from needing to come in if he does need to come in. Although he would have saved a little bit under that safety car, whether he's got enough or not. So certainly in the next 5 or 10 minutes, I would expect to see him in the lane, just by the way that he doesn't appear to be saving. And then, well, where's he going to drop back to? So pit lane time looks to be around 30, just over 30 seconds if you're not doing tyres. So that would then drop him back to about P6, yeah.
Wow.
Well, that'd be unheard of.
Yeah.
Unless he's going to get enough gains and then just button off, just the final 10 minutes idling.
Cool down laps.
Yeah, cool. That's in the final stretch of the race. Here at SuperCars NZ with Darren Robb. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
Nothing
well,
surprises me with that, man.
I'm very interested to see how this is going to pan out, because yeah, he's going to drop quite a way back in the pack at the moment, and he's going to have some work to do if he does have to pit. Maybe the safety car did give him enough. I'm sure he probably knows what he's doing a lot better than I do.
Yeah, he's on that limiter. He's certainly
Surely he's going to cover.
Still throwing that unburnt fuel out the back of the exhaust pipe as well.
and the McLaren. Love it. 15 to go.
So Leith still hasn't been able to find his way around Aaron. Daniel has been reeled in again by Aaron, so where I thought Daniel might sort of check out once he got ahead of Aaron, he certainly hasn't been able to do that, and we can see the pace that Leith's got behind him. Just has to find his way around Aaron Goodrick, and then he'll be able to bring the challenge to Daniel Scholes here. Gonna get a nice draft here. Ferrari versus McLaren. If we had a Red Bull livery on that Porsche, it'd be just like Formula One.
Sorry, Shane, just taking a pit stop there myself.
No worries.
What was your time, Wayne?
Pit lane time. Battle. A bit of strategy is always handy.
Yeah, that's the one. Spices it up.
Yeah, it does, and the way the pit stops work with these cars, where you can only do one tyre at a time, really creates a bit of variance, especially if you're not having to add a huge amount of fuel. You can generally be covered to do a couple of tyres by your fuel, but as we've seen tonight, Leith's had to take a little bit of pain in the pit stop to change more tyres, but it's given him that reward when he's come back out, that fresher rubber, nice grip to the racetrack, and he's able to get all that power down, and that's allowed him to finally get alongside Aaron Goodrick, down the inside into turn one, gets that pass done, will compromise his line through the rest of the centre S. That's going to give Aaron the chance to draft down the straight and see if he can get him back at turn 4. How badly does Aaron want to fight for this podium? He's going to stick the nose out, but just not quite able to fire it down the inside, and Leith's able to make that one stick, and now he can go after Daniel Scholes, who is only 0.7 of a second up the road now.
That's
Way up in the second.
He could do, he's not too far away. Oh, Daniel running a bit wide out of that right-hander, compromises his line into the left-hander as well.
It's all on at Interlagos, eh?
Oh, and it's just hard.
So
Wheel
looking,
this time.
That's frustrating. It's that M10 issue, eh? I don't know if you saw. I saw that and just went hard left.
Gosh. We'll have a look later on.
Or we can have a look now.
Yeah, why not? Sounds great. Blaming the equipment. Enough.
Yep,
Daddy
that
is
just very much went hard left in the middle of the right hand corner. That's not nice.
That is not nice. So I don't know what is going on with his wheel, but it's not today.
Right. You can get comfy and watch Shane's stream if you like in the lounge.
Yeah, pull up a chair.
Might
That's
need
what I
to
want
get
go.
might need to get this guy to come up and see you. He sorted Wayne's wheel out.
Oh yeah, Stefan McArdin. Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah.
The mad hacker.
I think he helped me out last time I actually got on Fritz too.
Lucky to have him in the league.
So Daniel's actually just been able to stretch the gap to Lee Swinney out to 1.1 seconds now. So maybe Daniel was just managing a bit and just to put that foot down a little bit more once Lee did find his way around Aaron. But certainly not a massive margin by any means, although Aaron Goodrick not letting him go either, still within a second of Leith at the moment.
Keep your eye on Mr. Liven.
Yeah, well, we've still got that question mark hanging over him.
Still sounds like he's giving it to it. He's up on the limiter.
Unfortunately, we're not able to see his fuel level readout on the dash there, so we can't see how much he's got. That'd be nice if it actually gave us a reading there. Predicted lap time 1 minute, that wouldn't even surprise me, to be honest.
Here we go.
There he is.
Oh yeah, he's in.
Alright, so that's going to shuffle things up a bit, isn't it?
It is. So he stops in his box, doesn't go up on the jack, so he's just doing the old Daniel Scholes go past, Lee Swinney, Aaron Goodrick. Sets off now.
Got him, Ram.
Aaron Uden, I think, will just go past him as he's making his way out. He's gone deep around that corner on the pit exit. He's going to be racing Andrew Uden to the pit exit here, actually. And he's going to come out in front. Is he? Andrew's just going to have some more momentum, but yeah, I think he's just going to be able to cover him off. So back to P4. He is currently 8 seconds behind Aaron Goodrick in P3, and then that next group is all relatively tight.
Oh, Aaron's lost it.
Oh!
Oh, he spun
Oh! So he's trying to recover now. Darren hasn't been able to get past Aaron as yet. So Aaron doing a good job to recover without losing position, but it has brought that gap down to 2 seconds now.
He would have got a big slowdown, and he's on 15 incident points now too.
Oh!
Tiptoe.
yeah. So 2 more and drive 3 for Aaron Goodrick. No.
Oh, Nico's made his way past Darren and then just understeered off the track there. Hasn't lost out in terms of positions, but it's just given him that extra little bit of work to do to get back past those GT3 cars that he just made his way around. So about 6.5 minutes remaining. Darren Lobb's got 10 seconds to make up to Daniel Scholes. If we look at best lap times, his is a 33.2 and Daniel Scholes a
Which is
33.7, so
not
only
much
half a
different,
second
yeah.
between them. That's... He's going to have to pull something absolutely ridiculous out of the bag to reel that 10 seconds in, I think.
Especially 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doable though. He's the master.
Certainly doable to get back on the podium after that era from Aaron, so I think, unfortunately, despite the strategy masterclass from Aaron, he's just made that little mistake that is going to cost him and see him drop off the podium in the end.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Aaron.
And he'll have in the back of his mind that 15 incident.
Yeah, absolutely. Only needs to pick up.
Nico Cordia, 17 incidents, so he'll be coming through the lane. Oh yeah, he's in the lane. Nico Cordia said his drive through.
So he's still been able to hold on to P2 anyway, so...
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, Leeds closing down that gap to Daniel.
Yeah, it's definitely 0.4.
Yeah, meanwhile, Darren getting right in behind Aaron Goodrick now.
One of those pesky hype cars in the background.
And
Whatever they are.
Aaron just decides not to fight that one. He recognised that Darren had the pace, and Darren moves back onto the podium. So this is going to be the fight for the race lead. 9 seconds between Leith and Darren at the moment, so I'd be very surprised to see that gap come down significantly. And he's just got the
Leeds
overlap.
got the inside line.
He's got the momentum, and he's going to be able to pull ahead onto the pit straight here, and just goes down the middle of the track to cover Daniel, thinking about to move to the inside, goes to the outside on the end. And looks like Lee's been able to make that stick, but I'm sure Daniel's got the pace to stick with him. I don't think this battle's over yet. There's 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go, so they're probably going to get 2 or 3 more laps out of this yet.
Very good.
And if they keep fighting, is that what Darren needs to be able to close that gap in and maybe just be in with a sniff on that final lap?
It'll be interesting to see that number coming down.
Oh, one of the GTPs is around.
Oh, that was Nico Cordia again, I believe. So adding to his incident tally, unfortunately.
He's already served his drive-through, so Aaron Goodrick on 16 incidents after that bit of a drama there. So
Ooh.
magic number 17.
So Lee's got half a second on Daniel at the moment. That should be enough to be safe into turn 1 this time around. But he's still can't relax too much. He needs to keep hitting those markers, apexes and exits.
Yeah, nice battle. 2 minutes left.
Yeah, any little mistake and Daniel will pounce. So 2 minutes left. They will get around to complete this lap before the time runs out, so then they'll get one more after that, and next time by after that will be the checkered flag. Darren's been able to bring that gap down to 7.5 now, so steadily coming down, but I just think he's going to run out of laps unless this battle gets really spicy in towards the end. Oh, Daniel having a little bit of a blink again. We saw that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, bit of internet issues, last thing you need.
Oh, Daniel's certainly pushing through the infield section and maybe just pushing a little bit hard. Ran wide through the right-hander again and just compromised his line on the left-hander just as he was really starting to get under that rear wing as well. Down under a minute remaining now as they come through the final corner again.
Leaf Swinney be eyes forward. Wedding brow be wet.
Yeah.
And a hypercar in the mix.
I think his hands are probably sweaty, his knees are weak and his arms are heavy. I think Corey brought that one out the other night.
Oh, good stuff, good stuff.
He's wearing a sweater too, Shane.
Well, it might be a bit warm for that at the moment. So we are on the final lap. We're about to see that time tick over to 1 hour and 15 minutes. So next time by they will get the checkered flag. Lee sitting at half a second lead at the moment. Jack Hint's making his way through. Does this play a part in the battle at all? Is Leith able to let him by cleanly without losing any time? Jack being nice and patient, not forcing the issue. Daniel's going to be frustrated at the moment because while Jack's there, that's just blocking any chance he has of getting right up behind Lee.
Actually part of the track, isn't it?
Jack getting out of it in the end, and he's just going to let them go for it, but it's just given Leith enough to be covered off. 7 tenths of a second now. Actually, we're looking at that, but Stefan McCartan's the guy that's actually going to be the first to take the checkered flag. So those guys are actually going to get another lap yet as well. Stefan McCartan absolutely in control. He is going to take the win overall and for GTP. Gets that one done. Aaron Goodrick coming home in 4th in the end. Darren Lobb has not yet taken the checkered flag, so he's still going in 3rd. We can come back to the battle for the lead in GT3 though, because this is, well, it's just opened up a little bit to 0.8, but still every chance that Daniel can pull it back in on the final lap.
Yeah, not much in it, that's real.
Oh, I hear tyres squealing. That was, looked like Chris Zalewski going around in the background. So he was lap traffic anyway, he wasn't involved in this fight. Leith almost stretching that gap out to a second now, does just go over that 1 second margin, and he's only got a couple of quarters to navigate now. Daniel just pulling it back down to 0.8 now again, but one more proper corner to navigate, and then it's just foot to the floor, turn left a few times.
Very well done.
Absolutely. So coming up past the pit entrance now, and someone doing a big skid on the pit straight there, but Leith Swinney takes the win for GT3. Daniel Scholes just in behind. Darren Lobb able to get to 4.8 behind, so reeled that gap in, but not quite able to do enough to challenge those guys.
Yeah, why don't Leaf taking those tyres? Paid off in the long run.
Yeah, Nico Cordier has brought it home P2 for GTP, and Jack Hunt rounds out the GTP field in 3rd.
Bring Swinney up into the lounge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Leaf Swinney.
Hello, sir.
How was that?
What a win.
Sweating bullets.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
my
we were
favourite
talking
track.
about that. Yeah. No, well done, man. Very cool.
Ah, good fun, good fun.
So it looked
I'll turn the
like,
fan on you. I'm puffing even.
Looked like under that yellow flag when you pitted, you chose to take tyres. Was that what made the difference to being able to get to the front?
Oh, I think so. Two on the right. I was looking at the temps as we were going round, and I was able to. There's only a couple of corners that you can make that up on, but it just seemed to make the difference when I was tracking the number between the delta between the person in front.
Oh,
And after the pit stop, and I was going to stop the lap before, so I was struggling on fuel, getting those two sort of pacing laps in to actually make it. It was pretty close.
Well, you did a
oh,
good
well,
job.
well done.
Were
Yeah.
you surprised to see Darren not take the chance to pit under the yellow and ultimately drop back to third when he did pit?
Well, I thought he had, so I was considering it was just going to be a podium or a fourth, but yeah, when he said he needed fuel, I picked up the pace a bit. I felt I could try and pick up Aaron and Daniel if I could. So that was
you
awesome race.
did well. Very cool. Enjoy it.
Yeah,
Good
absolutely,
times.
absolutely epic job. Well done. Any sponsors you want to shout out?
Oh, Fabworks, mate. All that. SuperCars NZ, iRacing, as always.
Legend. Cheers,
Beautiful.
Leaf.
Alright, so we've got
All
Nico
good.
Cordia up in the waiting room as well, so he's brought it home in P2 for GTP. So Nico, good performance there, although you had a few little issues, but had enough to keep Jack behind you anyway.
Yeah, thanks guys. It was a tough little race. I'm not gonna deny that. It Not a massive fan of Interlagos. Had a few spins, which I never had in practice, although I did I'd say about 30, 40 laps before the race during the week, and didn't have a spin once. I think I just pushing a bit too hard tonight, but yeah, I managed to keep Jack behind me, and the last 26 minutes remaining, I was on my last X, and I tried my hardest, and then I locked up trying to get the overtake on Darren, and went off, and I got a drive through. So lasted 21 minutes on my last X. um, but yeah, the car was good. Car was good. It's good to be back as well. I've had a couple of obviously tough weeks personally on the personal front, so it was good to be back behind the wheel and get back racing here with the boys.
Good stuff.
Yeah, certainly good to see you back. You mentioned you're not a big fan of the track, but at least you didn't have the conditions to deal with that Liam Lawson had to deal with on Sunday.
Oh, 100%. Look, that's one thing that I was really worried about because when in the week when I went onto the practice server or just went on to test drive, for some reason it was foggy. And I thought to myself,
Oh,
oh no, it's gonna rain this Thursday. Come Thursday, it's gonna rain. And I know for a fact from past experiences, GDPs are not great in the wet. I'd rather be in an
yes.
LMP2 than in a GDP. But yeah, like it was real cool. Didn't have any issues with any of the guys that we passed. Really didn't mind passing Andrew. I think it's Unden. Never seen him before on track. Or I just haven't noticed. But loved passing that Porsche. It just looked so good on the track. The black, gold, and pink or purple.
Oh,
It's
cool.
just a best livery on the track tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was a very cool livery that he had on tonight. I rate that myself, and I don't think I've seen that one on his car before either. So, yeah,
Yeah,
very cool one.
it was really cool to watch, and yeah, I had a real little couple of nice little battles with Jack after I spun, just as we started. I dropped back to third and had a good little run with Jack. It was good following him, and I think it's just the dirty air coming onto the second last corner, that long left hand downhill left hander. I think a dirty air just got to me a bit, and it picked the rear out. Learned my lesson and tried to keep it on track, and caught up back to Jack, and yeah, it was a real good race. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Had a good drive.
Good.
we did catch that spin, and I did observe that you were pretty close behind Jack at the time. So I did wonder
Race
whether the
control
dirty
scoring
air
has ended.
had an impact there. Anybody that you want to shout out tonight?
Oh, just the boys over at ANZ as usual, all the support and driving along or supporting the club, so driving for them, and yeah, that's about it. I would say tonight, and then definitely to you boys up in the stream into the comms box. Thanks for everything you guys do. Really do appreciate it, and it's always good watching the stream back the following day.
Very cool. Very cool.
Awesome. Well, we'll let you go. Have a good one.
Awesome. Thanks, Shane. Thanks, Wayne.
Very good. Shano.
Yeah, so we can see the results on screen there. I'm not going to ramble through them. Just have the top 10 up on screen as we round it out. So that does it for a night of racing in the HPR series at Interlagos. We saw some cool racing despite a slightly smaller field than what we're used to. Thanks to MRP for obviously sponsoring the HPR series, and MRX for coming on board as our race week sponsor this week, and of course Napa Auto Parts for being such an awesome backer of the Broadcasting Lounge. Just seen a comment pop up on the stream actually. System Decal, wicked stream, or how do I get involved in this / sign up, guys? Come find us at SuperCars NZ on Facebook and flick us a message and we'll get you in. Yeah, get us in. And cheers, Wayne, for joining me in the lounge tonight when it looked like I was going to be left friendless, which, hey, I'm used to that, but I didn't really want to talk to myself for an hour and 15 minutes.
We'll never leave you alone, Shane. It's all good, mate.
All right. Awesome. Cheers again, and cheers to everybody at home for tuning in and watching. We will see you all next time.